Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
All righty, I hate to admit it, but we are cruising through football season. The month of October, unfortunately, we have just blown through our next to last football weekend in the month of October. Where does the time go? Hi, everybody. Welcome to a Monday edition. You know it by now, our brand new Monday home. This is our second visit of many. We are inside the Community First Igloo. You see it on I-95 when you're cruising down I-95, either direction. You look over at the Emerson exit, and you see the beautiful igloo. It's gorgeous from the outside, but you've got to stop and get inside and take a gander at what they've put together. You can see behind me a beautiful facility. This is the headquarters of the Jacksonville Icemen, who just started their season on Saturday, one of 72 games, 36 total home games. Well, we think some more because there'll be some playoff games, but the season just getting started. And, man, if you are inclined to ice skate, you grew up around the ice, you're a skater yourself, you're a hockey player, you're maybe a transplant, they've got it all right here inside the Community First Igloo, right here, as I said, the headquarters of the Jacksonville Icemen. As a matter of fact, we'll talk some Icemen hockey a little bit later in hour number 2, about 5:20. We'll visit with Alex Reed. He is the Director of Communications and Broadcasting for the Jacksonville Icemen. The Icemen now are in, year number 8. They have made it. They are now a serious, legitimate staple in our sporting community here in North Florida. We take them serious. Everybody considers the Icemen year after year. You probably go to some games. You may even be a season ticket holder. But the Jacksonville Icemen have been a wonderful addition to the sporting community here in North Central Florida, and they continue doing what they do, bringing ice hockey, skating, just a little flavor of up north down here to the folks in North Florida. And obviously we're aware a lot of transplants here in our area, and hockey is their love. Hockey is one of, if not their number one sport, and it is being fed right here every single day. If you've got a group of guys, you just want to run some ice time. If you want to put together a league, a couple of teams to play each other, they can accommodate you. They can do it all. Open skate, you can see behind me just tons of people at all different levels of skating. And this is really the only place that you can experience all of this under one roof here in our area of North Central Florida, South Georgia. So check them out. Make sure you do that. We're here every single Monday, but you can come in anytime. Enormous sports bar. I'm sitting in the Icebreakers Bar and Grill. Gorgeous sports bar. Seats about 150. The large floor plan can be segregated if you've got a Little League team that needs a banquet area, if you've got a corporate event that you need space, if you want to have a viewing party, football, baseball, basketball, golf, tennis, whatever, hockey, come on up. Talk to Jim Webb, the general manager, and he'll set everything up with a wonderful kitchen to back everything up. Oh, my goodness gracious. Do we have some ball to talk? We'll have a hockey talk about 5:20. Brett Beard should join us somewhere around 5, maybe a little after 5, maybe a little before 5. Tons of NFL. The Jaguars get the London split. That was key. When you lose the first game, you've got to go get that second game. Let's break down the Jaguars, where they're at after coming back from across the pond with a 1-1 split in London, 2-5 overall. And where does the schedule go? How does the schedule go over the next 5 games? It's kind of a 5-5 situation now for the Jaguars. College football, my goodness gracious, it got started in earnest on Friday night, this past Friday night. What a just absolute disaster of a game for Florida State in Durham when they took on Duke. Duke won the game with barely any offense. Just a terrible, terrible most recent performance by the Florida State Seminoles. Where do the Noles go? We'll look at that. We'll backtrack on what happened in Durham. It was not pretty, folks. Not pretty at all in Durham. the Florida Gators a solid win, not that impressive. Kentucky scuffling. This is not one of Mark Stoops' best teams at Kentucky. I know they just lost 3 weeks ago or so by 1 point to the Georgia Bulldogs, but this is not a great Kentucky team. They're having quarterback issues. They just something's missing. But Florida at home needed to win. There's not a lot of layup games left on the schedule for the Gators. They went out and got one they needed and really got one going away. Never really pressured after the game got started. That was kind of a win that Florida needed. Florida needed that win coming off a pressure cooker loss in Knoxville the week before. The Gators got and needed a kind of catch-your-breath win. DJ Lagway, I think anybody with any type of vision, 2040, 2030, 2020 or better, can tell DJ Lagway is a special football player. He's going to get better every snap, every series, every half, every game. And he could change some things up for Florida. I think he's that type of player that maybe over the course of the last 5 games, and Florida has a hell of a 5-game stretch. Other than Florida State to end the regular season, the Gators should be underdogs, prohibitive underdogs in just about every game. They've got Georgia. They're off this week. Florida, Georgia, a week from Saturday. Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, and then Florida. 5 tough games for the Gators. But DJ Lagway and this Florida team is kind of figuring some stuff out a little bit now, provided that their head coach, Billy Napier, doesn't start working for the other team, if you know what I mean. If you follow Florida football the last 2.5 years, you know exactly what I mean. Florida's got a chance. I think Florida's got a chance in some of these games. They'll be double-digit underdog to Georgia, probably the same way to LSU, certainly at Texas. They'll be a double-digit underdog. Not going to be easy, but Florida has 4 wins. Go out and get an upset somewhere between Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, LSU. Take care of business, get the FSU win, and, carve out 6 wins. We would have never thought the number would have been 6 3 weeks ago. I know I wouldn't have. I've been on Billy Napier, and I'm still not sold on Billy Napier. I'm not sold at all on the future of Florida football with Billy Napier calling the shots as he calls them right now. I don't think the current structure of Billy Napier Florida football, I do not think that Billy Napier can take Florida to where they want to go. Florida, I think Billy Napier, if he stays another 5-10 years, I think he can consistently at the University of Florida win 7 games, 8 games, 6 games, 8 games, 7 games, 6 games, 8 games. Florida football wants more than that. I don't think Napier is the guy. Now, with that said, as the season plays out, will Napier figure that out? Will Napier make an adjustment? Normally coaches don't. They're pig-headed. They're full of testosterone. Will Napier be asked, tweaked a little bit, arm twisted a little bit to say, hey, Billy, my man, we're going to need you to do something. What it is, I've got an idea. If I was running the Billy Napier Florida football program, I've already got his press conference PR statement written. Basically, improv. I'll improv it a little bit later if we've got time. And, the Georgia Bulldogs. We have been waiting. I have been asking. You have been asking. The nation has been asking, what's going on with Georgia football? Something's missing. They're just kind of shake them up a little bit. They've got way more talent on that roster in Athens than the scoreboard is saying week after week after week. And going into the game in Austin this past Saturday night, I said it and a lot of people agreed, I think. If Georgia doesn't finally wake up Saturday in Austin, they might not. It may just be one of those, I couldn't get through to the team. Oh, boy. Somebody got through to the Georgia Bulldogs. What a dominating performance by Georgia. 30-15. That game was nowhere near that close. You had the wacky call. I still don't know what the hell happened. That was horrifically bad. What the officials, and I don't know. I don't want to bury the white hat. You know who the white hat is, right? The white hat of a officiating crew. One guy wears the white hat. He's the lead referee in charge. He's the head guy. The rest of them don't wear white hats. I don't want to bury the white hat because when he went to talk to the replay command center, he might have gotten a directive. I don't know. But my God, I still don't know what happened. That was egregiously wrong, what happened to Georgia. And you can say, well, the right call was made. Oh, that's wonderful. But what is the jurisdiction of instant replay? I think I've got this right. Help me out if I don't. I kind of think I know a little bit about college football. To me, and I've never had to explain different, the jurisdiction of the replay command center is not to subjectively discuss penalty flags. Was it holding? Was it not holding? Was it pass interference? Was it not? But no, that is not at all the jurisdiction of the replay command center. Yeah, that's what they did. What a disaster that was. Thank God Georgia won the football game. What an absolute crime would it have been if that whole screw-up situation had led to Texas coming back and winning that football game. Oh, what a monumental. You think you've seen it all, and you really haven't. So we're going to get into a lot of that. We've got college football winners and losers. We also will try and get to some NFL winners and losers from this past weekend, including, let's get back to the Jacksonville Jaguars. 2-5 on the year. They got the split, having lost to the Bears, game one in London, and boy, did that second week seem to drag by. But they got through it. Did the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got the win. That's all that matters. Jaguars come back now. They're 2-5. They've got a rough 5-game stretch. Here are the Jaguars' next 5 games starting this Sunday. Green Bay at home, at Philadelphia, Minnesota at home, at Detroit, Houston at home. For those of you scoring at home, here are the records for those 5 next opponents for the Jaguars. And obviously they'll play week after week after week, so the records will change. But here are the records right now for the Jacksonville Jaguars as we are heading to the Murderers Row 5 games. 2-5 right now are the Jaguars. Green Bay 5-2, Philadelphia 4-2, Minnesota 5-1, Detroit 5-1, same division, Houston 5-2. Oh, that's tough. If the Jaguars at 2-5 can somehow carve out a 3-2, a win 2, lose 3, I would take that right now. A 2-3 record the next 5. They're sitting at 2-5. Yesterday's game was big. I think now I'll be the first to tell you, and I will backtrack a little bit here in a moment on what I saw with New England yesterday. My God, they are bad. That's a bad football team. But with the Jaguars going in 1-5 to salvage a little bit of a prideful season. And I'll qualify that by saying 2-15, 3-14, those are train wreck. Wheels came off. No way to even, burn the entire season tape. That is a whole other level of bad. 2 wins, 3 wins. Had the Jaguars lost to that putrid football team yesterday, New England, I think they were heading for a 2 or 3 win season. And that is so bad. And so bad. Now, they got the win. With that second win, and I know I just went over the 5 tough games they've got coming up. If the Jaguars can somehow grab 2 wins, 2 out of the next 5, I think they're okay in terms of not having an absolute train wreck season. If the Jaguars, because they got the win over New England, I think they've got 2 wins. I think the rest of the way, they can go find 3 or 4 more wins. I truly believe that. And one of the main reasons I believe that is The next 5 games for the Jaguars is a bit of a murder's row. The final 5 games for the Jaguars, if you look that far, I don't think they're going to face a playoff team. And remember this, I always point this out. One of the big flaws of the NFL, and there's really no way to fix it, I don't think. One of the big flaws of the NFL is the last 3 or 4 weeks of every regular season NFL season. Redundancy. You end up having 2 or 3 games across the board, kind of, where non-playoff teams are playing non-playoff teams, and those are throwaway games. I'm telling you, you can steal. A team like the Jaguars can go steal a couple more wins late year. They've got to, if they go get 2, and then steal 2 or 3 at the very end, you piece together a 6 or 7 or 8 win season. Okay, it's not good. That's not what you wanted. I'm not saying that's what the Jaguars wanted, but I'm saying 7 or 8 wins versus 2 or 3. Yes, they're both losing seasons, but one of them is, the smoke alarm's going off. It's a 20 alarm fire. 2 wins, 3 wins versus 6, 7, 8. 6. I think they can get to that 6, 7, or 8 win threshold. And I do think it matters. I really do. I really think it matters for the whole. I think it matters for the pitch. And a place like Jacksonville always has the pitch. The pitch is, let the draft come through. And then right after the draft, you start seeing some media. You start seeing some ticket advertisements. You're trying to sell tickets, man. You're trying to get excitement, man. You're trying to sell corporate stuff, man. It's tough here. It's much tougher here in Jacksonville than in Houston and LA and Chicago and New York. Much tougher. I think that's a tough ask when you're 2-15. If you're 2-15, 3-14 versus 6, 7, 8, 8-9, 7-10. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just old crazy old man, but I think there's a big difference. So I think it was a big win for the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday in New England. Before we go to break, I will say this. My God, I haven't seen an NFL team as bad as, was it last? I can't remember if it was last year's Carolina. Yeah, I think it was last year's Carolina Panther football team that came through Jacksonville late in the year. We're talking week 15, 16. I can't remember what it was. Late in the year. Bryce Young was quarterbacking. That was one of the worst, if not worst, NFL teams I've seen in person in that stadium. And that includes, and I'll move the expansion year 1 Jaguars to the side. That's almost not fair. That Carolina team from a year ago was god-awful. Yesterday's New England team was not that bad, but oh my goodness gracious. I'll give you just a little example, and this isn't absolute, fact, but it's fact to me. Yesterday, like all you guys, I'm watching the game, 9:30 kickoff, game gets started. And like all football games, college and pro, early in the game, the broadcast team, the producer, the director, they'll try and set the stage and flash up this team's offense and their defense. And they'll flash up the other team's offense, all 11 players, and their defense. I've been doing this radio TV thing for a long time, 25, 30 years. I have my career has kind of driven the college football route. It's kind of what I like. It's kind of my passion. I've kind of driven my career toward college football. With that said, I follow college football. I watch a lot of college football. College football is kind of my thing. It's kind of my hobby. Yesterday, something happened that I can honestly tell you doesn't happen to me very often. I'm not bragging. I'm just throwing a fact out. Watching the game, the Jaguars in New England, and, we're still early in the game, first couple of possessions. Each team's had a possession here or there. And the broadcast team, they flash at one point. They start talking about the New England offensive players, and I know a lot of these guys just from being a college football guy and being immersed over the last 25, 30 years in college football. And my career's kind of gone college football's direction. I know those guys. You know those guys. Drake May, we know, North Carolina quarterback. Stevenson, running back, Oklahoma. I think he actually went to another school before, but his key time. Boutte, the receiver at LSU. We can go on and on. Those New England offensive players, just like almost every NFL game I ever watched. I'm not an NFL mega superstar aficionado, but when they flash starting lineups in a regular season NFL game, I kind of know I recognize Drake May and Keyshawn Boutte and Stevenson, the running. You recognize a couple of the linemen. Yeah, okay, yeah, big school, yeah. Folks, honesty compels me. Yesterday, and this plays into the Jaguars had to win that game. Oh, my God, New England's not very good. They're not Carolina bad this year, but they're not too far off. Yesterday, the TV boys, when New England was on defense and they caught their breath, the TV boys did, and they had a time. Somebody said, okay, let's go ahead and throw up the New England defensive starters on the screen. I didn't know one of them. I mean, I should be not proud. Dude, they threw up 11 names, and I'm scouring. Okay, maybe that guy. Maybe I know that guy from Oklahoma, LSU, USC, Ohio State, Texas, Michigan, Florida, Tennessee. Dude, they threw the New England defensive starting lineup, their names on the screen. I didn't know any of them. And again, I'm not the end-all, be-all, but that's a pretty good barometer. You know what? Generally, the best players, not all the way, but generally the best players that make it to the NFL are from the big power schools, of which I watch a lot. I did not know one player when they flashed the New England defense. I'm telling you, maybe I looked quick and missed a few, but that was almost a must win for the Jaguars. And they got it. They come home. Green Bay, Philadelphia, Minnesota, Detroit, Houston in a row. And then it lightens up. It finally does in December, playing it out. The Jaguars have, I think, games against their final 5 opponents. I'm not so sure any of those guys will make the playoffs. Let's go take a first break here of many. We've got a lot going on. Hope to hear from Brent Beard here in a couple segments, at least by the 5 o'clock hour. We talk some Icemen hockey. The Icemen got their season started on Saturday. Huge crowd. They lost a game in overtime, and I hear there was a pretty good little brawl at the end of the game. We'll talk to Alex Reed about that and all the stuff coming up, upcoming events and promotions and things like that, how you, your group, your corporation can get involved with the Icemen as they play. Once again, a 72-game regular season schedule, 36 at home, 36 at the home, on the road, 35, I guess, after Saturday's season opener. We'll talk about that and a lot of other topics. We'll take a peek at, my goodness, how fun. We all know the 12-team college football playoff is going to be a blast. You know it's going to be fun as hell because, hell, look at the SEC trying to figure out who's going to play in the championship game. That's going to be a run for the roses over the next 4 or 5 weeks. It's going to be a blast, folks. Hold on tight. College football is coming strong. College football winners, college football losers from this past weekend. We'll talk about that on the other side of the Young and Norvelle Show, coming to you live on a bit of an overcast Monday edition, getting deep into October. The Young and Norvelle Show back after this quick timeout.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143-2579.
All right, there you have it. Billy Dave, you're leading the Gators as you see the schedule. Okay, wasn't so good to start. Okay, third game wasn't good. Couple wins, not a great, not many good wins over good teams, but they're hanging in there. So far, Florida, 4 wins, 3 losses. Right now, the 3 teams that have beaten Florida, I think, would all be playoff teams, probably. So you kind of could hang your hat on that as we welcome you back to the Young and Norvelle Show, coming to you live inside the Community First Igloo. We are in the wonderful, basically brand new, a little over a year old Icebreakers Bar and Grill. You hear a lot of activity. My goodness, you may not understand. I did not until a couple weeks ago how big youth hockey is in our area. We've got multiple teams right out here just beyond the camera reach, and it looks like it is picture day. They've got their uniforms on, and obviously you can tell there are multiple teams here, and we're talking, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old kids, and you can tell these are multiple teams in a league, and it's picture day. So you couldn't imagine if you are a transplant, if you just like ice skating. Of course, they have open skate. You can come over here and just, purchase some ice time, and you can see it behind me. I mean, it's open skate behind me. There'll be teams practicing momentarily, and This, of course, the Igloo here just off of Emerson, the Emerson exit. This is the headquarters of the Jacksonville Icemen. They play their home games in the arena, but their headquarters, their offices, their practice facility right here inside the Igloo. Boy, ice hockey is big in our town. And you know what? The Icemen are a big part of that. They have been around 8 years, I think it is now. The honeymoon period, the is it going to work period is over. Yes, it's going to work. Yes, they are a viable sports entertainment option in our area, and they are part of the fabric. And that's the key. If you can hang around enough and get entrenched, I mean, the Icemen, the Sharks, the Jumbo Shrimp. I mean, obviously we have the Jacksonville Jaguars and right down the road, the Gators, and right down the road, we've got the Seminoles. But to get entrenched, 365 days in the year, a lot of stuff, a lot of dark nights that we could use some entertainment, some sports entertainment. And, boy, the Icemen have carved out a big-time niche, and it gets bigger every year. It really does. And this facility, that a lot of learned people, a lot of smart people have invested a lot of their hard-earned money into this facility, and it looks like it is returning in spades, I guarantee you. Make sure you make a stop by. Lunch Monday through Friday, obviously weekend right here in Icebreakers Bar and Grill. I know there's a lot of people, a lot of businesses in this area, and you folks are probably looking for a place to take a client for a lunch, to close a deal, to talk about a deal, to finish off a deal. Well, take my advice. Icebreakers inside the Community First Igloo is a very viable option. I guarantee you that. All right, so college football winners and losers from the weekend. I think winner number one, and I think everybody that can hear this and knows what I'm talking about would agree. Winner number one from the college football weekend, and this guy should get an assist for probably about 800 billion Halloween costume ideas. The game wasn't pretty Friday night for the Florida State Seminoles when they got beat at Durham against Duke. But the fan in the stand, what about the faux coach shirtless with his game plan turned out to be nothing more than a menu from Waffle House, a Waffle House menu. The guy had his headset on. He was coaching in the stands shirtless. What a star. That guy was great. But really quick, getting serious, I hope you saw that. That guy was a winner chicken dinner. And if Waffle House doesn't reach out, they should have already reached out to this guy. They should have a TV commercial popping out before this football season's over featuring that guy. That guy should make a lot of money. Tip of the hat for creativity to the Florida State Waffle House football coach. It was great. You don't know, shame on me. I should have pulled it before we went on the air and showed it. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, do yourself a favor and look it up on YouTube. All right, winners from this past weekend, college football. Some things that teams that came to mind. The Miami Hurricanes. Cam Ward clearly now has both hands on the Heisman Trophy. It is Cam Ward's trophy, I think, to lose. Miami would have to lose a couple of games, and Cam Ward would have to really sneak it up. Another just amazing. The season Cam Ward is having reminds me of the two seasons that Charlie Ward had at Florida State years ago. And he just was magical. He just was David Copperfield. He just escapes. He just barely stays alive. And then he makes a play. Miami, in a high-scoring game, they win. Big win for Miami over the weekend. Another big win for Miami. BYU, I know a game that got buried. My goodness gracious. BYU was dead in the water against Oklahoma State. Here come the Cougars. A huge late-game win for BYU to stay undefeated. They are chasing down the Big 12 Conference Championship and the automatic bid that would go with that. So Miami, BYU, Tennessee. How do you not go past Tennessee? It wasn't always the prettiest game in Knoxville Saturday afternoon against Alabama, but Tennessee, you know what? They need to win and move on. Just win and move on. They've beaten Alabama 2 of the last 3 after losing, 18 of 19 or something crazy like that. Tennessee, an ugly slugfest, a big winner over the weekend. Missouri, you talk about an ugly football game. Missouri hooked up with Auburn, and Missouri's starting quarterback, Brady Cook, goes out with an injury early in the game. And get this, not only did he leave the game with a ankle injury early in the football game at Missouri, he leaves the stadium and goes to a hospital and gets an MRI. I don't know what it said or didn't say. He comes back to the stadium. Missouri's getting beat up pretty good by Auburn, like 17-6. Brady Cook, fresh off his MRI, left the stadium, came back, goes back in the game, and directs Missouri to another win. Missouri is at Alabama next week. Missouri, they don't do it pretty. They don't do it sexy, but they do it with one loss. Big win for Missouri. What about the South Carolina Gamecocks? A game I called. I liked South Carolina to win the game at Oklahoma. They were actually getting points, and they were at Oklahoma, but I absolutely loved South Carolina to win that game. I didn't see them beating out Oklahoma that bad. The wheels are now officially off all the axles on the Oklahoma Boomer Schooner. South Carolina took Oklahoma to the woodshed. The game was never in doubt. Oklahoma has all kind of problems on offense. They've lost their offensive coordinator who just resigned. It is a mess. Welcome to a big-time conference, South Carolina. Another winner. This game went under the radar, but, man, tip of the hat to the Maryland Terrapins and Mike Loxley. Maryland hung around with USC, and they pull it out. The Terrapins pull it out 29-28 late in the game. Big win for Maryland. Tough loss for USC. They are spiraling out of control. We'll get to the losers in a moment. And I'm going to throw one more winner out there. There's plenty more from this weekend, but what about the SEC? My God, how good is the SEC right now? It is going to be an absolute dogfight the next 5 weeks trying to decide just who's going to Atlanta. Don't forget, the SEC, like most conferences, there's only like one conference out there, major conference, that has divisions. The SEC does not have any more. There's no more East and West. There's one big old conference, 1-16. And the two highest ranked teams at the end of the regular season will meet in Atlanta. Now, those two teams will probably already have at least an at-large bid to the playoff. But if you get to Atlanta and you win, you take all guessing out and you get a better seed probably. So a lot on the line, but my God, the SEC. If this is any type of indication, if you look at the SEC and you wonder how good the college football playoff is going to be, just look at the SEC. How good is it just trying to figure out two teams that are going to meet in Atlanta for the automatic bid in that game? Oh, my goodness. This thing, and you can say this about the Big Ten. You can say this about the Big 12. ACC as well. Actually, you could pretty much say it about all four Power 4 conferences that have automatic bids. Okay, those are some of your winners from college football of the weekend. Some of your losers, I'm going to lump these guys together and say, ooh, welcome to a new conference. USC, big loser. What do they got, 4 losses now? And they're not done. I don't think they're done losing football games. Southern Cal, new to the Big Ten, big loser over the weekend. Oklahoma, new to the SEC, big loser over the weekend. Texas, new to the SEC, number 1 in the nation, undefeated with 102,000 screaming Longhorn fans. Loser this weekend. And I'm going to throw Texas in there because at least for the first half or just beyond the first half, Texas didn't compete. Tip of the hat to Georgia. But Texas, how about USC, Oklahoma, and Texas? How about how you enjoying your new conferences, boys? Ooh. And you have to throw in Alabama in terms of loser from the weekend. My goodness gracious. Kalen DeBoer is not in any trouble regarding losing his job. But, I did a little snooping over the weekend, and we'll talk to Brent Beard hopefully a little bit later. You got to believe it's uncomfortable right now for brand new Alabama football coach Kalen DeBoer. Think about it. Kalen DeBoer at a football mad cathedral known as Alabama. Kalen DeBoer has been the Alabama football coach for 7 games. He has 2 losses in those 7 games. Oh, and here's the rest of Alabama's schedule. Missouri at home. Missouri's a rock fight, black and blue, ugly up the game football team. Alabama has Missouri at home. Then they're at LSU. They've got a gimme win in Mercer. They're at Oklahoma, and then they play Auburn. There may be another loss, maybe 2 for Alabama. And Alabama is that interesting scenario that I've been hitting on this entire college football season, now that we're in the 12-game playoff. Alabama is the perfect scenario. If you're Alabama, if you could control it, would you rather? What would you rather do? Where would you rather be? Alabama is 5-2. They've got 5 games left, right? 7 and 5 is 12. If you're Alabama and your goal is to make the 12-team playoff, do you like your chances, Alabama, if you win your way to Atlanta with 2 losses and you get to the SEC championship game? Now, if you make it to the SEC championship game, you've got a 50-50 chance of guaranteeing a spot in the college football playoff. I say that because the SEC winner, the winner of that championship game, gets the automatic bid. So, if you're Alabama, would you prefer that scenario and say, let's get there? If we win it, we don't even have to watch the show the next day, the selection show. But if you lose it, you're not throwing up a 10-2 record to the committee. You're throwing up a 9-3 record to the committee. Now, if you get to it and win it, again, you get the automatic bid. But do you think, you know what? If we win out and go 10-2, but say we lose a tiebreaker, we don't go to Atlanta, I would rather just put my 10-2 record on the line and say, the hell with it, than making it to Atlanta, losing, and saying, all right, now we've got a 10-3 record for you to look at. And you may be ranked, hell, Alabama's ranked 15th right now at 5-2. If they go 10-3, isn't there a pretty good chance that they may be ranked 14th or 15th or 16th? Interesting. Let's take a break here. Cruising through a lot of different scenarios. The ACC, I've got some of the matchups, who plays who doesn't play who, and a couple of the same situations with the SEC. Man, the one drawback we've got, the one issue I'm having with college football this year, trying to determine conference champions or participants in the conference championship games, is the conferences now are so big. They've gotten so bloated. You've got 16 and 18 teams. The problem is a lot of teams don't play each other inside their own conference. That's one of the problems. I mean, you'll be stunned to see who Clemson doesn't play, or Miami doesn't play, or, carrying it on, who Tennessee does play, but LSU doesn't play. The conferences have gotten so big, you can't play everybody. One little speed bump in this whole scenario. We'll talk some more college football on the other side. It's Monday edition. I want to thank our brand new Monday home. We're here every single Monday. I'm Terry Norvelle. Glad you're with us here on Action Sports Jax. We're live from our Monday location right here in the heart of town. At the Emerson exit, you will find the Community First Igloo, and we set up every Monday inside this immaculate sports bar. They call it Icebreakers Bar and Grill.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Since 1936, Procter Ace has been proudly helping Jax with all your home and garden projects. Whether you need tools, paint, plumbing supplies, or expert advice, we've got what you need to get the job done right. Looking to brighten your yard? Visit our garden center for plants, tools, and everything to make your outdoor space flourish. You're not just shopping here, you're part of our community. So come in today and let us help you tackle your next project with a smile. After all,
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
When I say it means something to me, gentlemen, it means something to me.
High school football is back and it's bigger than ever. Welcome to the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
It is bigger than a game.
Watch the biggest games each week live as the action unfolds with instant reaction and analysis from our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. It starts with live look-ins at the top matchups, including our Jaguars Prep Whataburger Game of the Week, and that is just the beginning of 4 straight hours of coverage. From 8 to 10:30, the Friday Night Zone Blitz is streaming on our Action News Jax app and online. At 10:30, the Friday Night Blitz you know and love. A half hour of highlights from around the area. 11 o'clock, we shine the spotlight on the bands that pump up the crowd. 11:15, it's time to blitz through the highlights online and on air. Then 11:35, back to the stream to break down the night's results with a reaction from local coaches. 4 straight hours of high school football on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Only on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.
Look at the overhead shot of downtown Jacksonville. Kind of an overcast, a little bit of a hazy kind of day. Temperature's nice, though. It's really, these fall temperatures feel real good. This time of year, these next 3 or 4 months, man, I win back my electric bill. I'm a guy that, this next 2 or 3 months, I don't do a lot of air. I live in a place where I can kind of open up the windows and it takes care of the coolness. And I don't do a lot of the entire big heating unit. I can just do a plug-in kind of like a space heater. So I love this time of year, man. The next 3 or 4 months, I win the electric bill. My electric bill comes in low, low, low. And, of course, I give it right back in June, July, and August. I give it right back, probably like a lot of you folks. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Speaking of back, welcome back to a Monday edition. We're live at our Monday home, Icebreakers Bar and Grill inside the beautiful Community First Igloo here, the headquarters, the home office and practice headquarters of the Jacksonville Icemen. Open skate. They've got leagues and teams. You hear kids running around like crazy. The leagues are about to start, obviously, because today is picture day. We got 15 or 20 teams, it seems like, running around. And you got moms combing hair and perfect uniforms, no tears or rips or anything. Picture day. You guys remember picture day. I don't care if it was football, baseball, or basketball, or hockey. Picture day was special, and boy, you didn't want to mess up that picture. It was that picture forever. You couldn't go back and get picture day redone. Hey, bouncing some topics before the top of the hour, and then we hope to hear from Brent Beard around the top of the hour talking college football. And then I'm going to visit with our buddy Alex Reed from the Jacksonville Icemen, kind of set up the entire rest of the way. The season just started. 1 of 72 regular season games. Only one of them is wrapped up. The home opener was this past Saturday. 12,000 people in the arena for a great opener for the Icemen. We're going to set up what's going to happen all season long with the Icemen. Uncomfortable story for me, and it doesn't involve me. I'm just an outsider like you. Word is that Tua is going to try and play on Sunday for the Dolphins. I've made my stance on this, and I have no dog in the fight. It's none of my business. I just, from a human interest standpoint and a caring individual, I wish Tua would just shut it down. Too many times I've had to see him, just like you and his family and his loved ones. I don't want to run the risk of seeing Tua laying prone on a football field with stiff limbs, and it just looks so scary. It's so awkward. But he's going to try it again, it looks like, and maybe even run out. He may even run out on Sunday. I mentioned we're here in basically the south side area right off of Emerson on Monday. This is our Monday home, Icebreakers Bar and Grill. Tomorrow we'll be in the heart of Mandarin over at, you know it by now, Hurricanes Grill and Wings in Mandarin right before the Jointon Creek Bridge. If you're in the area, stop by. Hey, one of the first college topics we talked about was the disaster Friday night for Florida State in Durham. Several things jumped out. Number one, FSU lost an ugly game. You're questioning now their effort. Have they quit? Have they quit on their coach right now? And this is not just a FSU thing. This happens a lot when things go sideways with a team in any sport, really. But a couple of areas that I would address if I was running this program. Cromenhoek, the freshman quarterback that got into the game the other night at Duke, he would be my guy. I would ride him. And I get it. I get it. The other guys, they've been good troopers, but they're no factor. Cromenhoek is the one chance you've got on the roster right now to play winning quarterback at Florida State. He's going to have some mistakes. He'll make some mistakes the rest of the way. It's a throwaway year anyway, provided I think I can protect him. And that's a key. I worry about the FSU offensive line because Cromenhoek, he got roughed up Friday night. He really took some big shots. But there weren't many shining bright spots for Florida State Friday in that loss at Duke. Two things stood out. One may have been a little bit of a facade in that I thought FSU's cornerbacks covered well. Now, I don't know if Duke has good wide receivers. I don't know if Duke has wide receivers that are difficult to keep covered. But I thought FSU covered well Friday. Now, that was a bad Duke offense. Secondarily, though, I think the biggest thing to come out of the game positive for Florida State, I thought Luke Cromenhoek threw a beautiful ball. I think he's got a real nice touch. He dropped 2 or 3 passes right in the in the hands of FSU receivers. And who knows where. I still think Florida State would have lost the game probably, but my goodness, he throws a nice football. I think he throws. And if I'm FSU, if I'm Mike Norvelle, I want to give this guy the next 5 games or whatever they have, get about 100 and something pass attempts, and know that I have a quarterback going into next season. I don't know if you know this or not. And from this past weekend, maybe it won't be as bad, but do you realize FSU opens up at home next college football season, 2025? They welcome Alabama. Alabama will come into Tallahassee to kick off the season next year. And I know Alabama is not looking great by Alabama standards, but still, that's a tough opener. Florida State, by next year, their home opener, the stadium should be completed. And that's the theory. Bring all the people. That'll get a lot of play that first game in Tallahassee. FSU hosting Alabama. Show off your new stadium. Show your new stadium off. But I sure would feel more comfortable going into that game if I had my quarterback, Luke Kromenhoek, if I had him with about 150 passes under his belt. Good, bad, or indifferent, just game action. Instead of he plays a little here and he plays a little there, and Brady, what's his name, plays here and plays there. I'd hand him the ball. I really would. Taya Philly would get most of the carries, and I probably would go some youth movement if I was Florida State. What will they do the rest of the way? Just an absolute disaster of a season so far for the Florida State Seminoles. Let's take a little bit of an early break. I'm hoping we can catch Brent Beard a few minutes before the top of the hour so we can get a long college football segment in. And then about 5:20, 5:25, we're going to talk some Icemen hockey. We'll have Alex Reed, the Director of Communication and Broadcasting. He'll catch us up on what is going to go on the rest of the season, all kinds of promotions and special in-game treats and surprises, and how you can get involved as just a walk-up ticket buyer, how you can get involved if you want to get your corporate company involved, have an outing, birthday parties, things like that. We'll cover a lot of Iceman stuff, including what happens on the ice about 5:20 with Alex Reed from the Jacksonville Icemen. One down, one to go, Monday edition. We're live at our Monday home. You know it by now. We'll keep telling you about it, and you need to check it out. Icebreakers Bar and Grill inside the Community First Igloo.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Remember those days, today, man. Get one crack at it, you know. Hey, we're right back here at the Igloo. You know where we're at by now. You pass it on I-95, the Emerson exit. You look over and you see the Community First Igloo. We're inside. Our Monday home is, of course, Icebreakers Bar and Grill. Beautiful, huge sports bar, TVs everywhere, including about a 800 billion foot TV right above the main bar, and it's clear. That's the key to these big TVs. Most of them you can't see. Terry Norvelle talking some ball with you. We'll talk some ice hockey ball at about 5:20, 5:25. But now let's talk some college football Monday after a busy weekend. Brent Beard joins us. Mr. Beard, thanks for your time. Let's start in Alabama, man. I mean, brand new football coach, 7 games into his tenure, and the Alabama coach is not supposed to have 2 losses 7 games in. The boys can't be happy in Tuscaloosa right now.
Terry, nice to be with you. We talked this week, last week, the winner of this game would lead in rushing, and Tennessee had like 215 rushing. Alabama had less than 100. Dylan Sampson, who leads the league, had a good game. I don't think Milroe, Alabama's quarterback, Jalen Milroe, was healthy. Number one, I mean, he's sailing passes out of bounds. His footwork was absolutely abysmal. And it reminded me, I wonder if it did you, it reminded me of the Tennessee-Florida game. Alabama Alabama was in the red zone the whole first half. Got 7 points out of it. The Gators got 3 points out of it. Tennessee goes in at halftime and comes out, and frankly is a different team. I don't know if you've seen this yet because it just came out. The numbers are out for the TV. 13 million viewers saw the Georgia game. 10 million viewers saw the Alabama-Tennessee game. That is the most viewers on the same station or network since I believe it was 96. To your point a few days ago, do you think ABC's okay that they got the SEC?
Oh, and CBS is like, we couldn't find a new pot of gold somewhere to hold on to that thing. Well, hell, remember the other day when the Dodgers and the Padres were playing with 2 Japanese starting pitchers and Ohtani in Japan, for God's sakes, they drew 12.8 million. And that was a monster number.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and those numbers also speak to, and you're right there in lockstep with me. You and I have been preaching that, you know what, you may not like it. It's a preference thing, the portal and the NIL, but college football is not going anywhere, folks. And you're that guy. Those guys that this is killing college football has never been more popular. And quantitatively with numbers, we can show that. It was ironic that back-to-back weeks, Tennessee has won home games over. I mean, these are their two nemesis.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Alabama and Florida have just terrorized Tennessee over the last 25 years or whatever, 25 years. Tennessee, I don't think, played great in either game, but they won them both.
Listen, how big not only for Tennessee and Georgia is that Tennessee Georgia game going to be coming up in a few weeks now. Now Tennessee's got Kentucky, Mississippi State, Georgia, UTEP, and Vanderbilt. So Tennessee's only real opportunity to lose, Terry, is going to be at Georgia and at Vanderbilt.
Yeah. How about that? Speaking of Georgia, boy, we've been waiting all year, and we've been wondering all year, are the Dogs just going to sleep through the whole season? Are they they're missing something? We thought the Alabama game might shake them into reality. It did the second half, but they stunk it up the first half. My goodness, that was an impressive performance by the Georgia Bulldogs on the road in Austin in front of 102,000 hostile fans and a miserable decision call, whatever happened. Georgia, that game wasn't as close as a score, my man. Georgia dominated that football game.
And look, as we said last week, Texas has not played anybody.
No.
And that has hurt them. Colorado State, at Michigan, UTSA, Louisiana Monroe, Mississippi State, and Oklahoma. And they were not used to. I mean, Georgia pounded them.
Really did.
That was. I'm not going to say it was men against boys because Texas is better than that, but it was close. Texas is nowhere near used to that kind of pounding during that game. Look, I mean, Texas is not going anywhere, and they'll be fine, and they will likely be able to be in the playoffs. I've got Vandy, Florida, at Arkansas is tricky, at A&M.
Yeah.
So they've got a couple of chances to lose, but I'm telling you, and listen, are you the least bit curious what the fine's going to be for Kirby Smart before the end of the week?
Yeah. And you know what? That's a shame too, because that whole thing, I don't know, somebody in the officiating crew at that Georgia Alabama Texas game needs to be suspended. Probably multiple people. And I don't want to blame it all on the white hat because he may have gotten directive from above, but somebody screwed that thing up. I mean, the jurisdiction of instant replay is not to subjectively talk your way through a flag. That the replay should not determine was that holding or not, or was that pass interference or not. I'm so happy Georgia won that game because that was an egregiously screwed up situation.
Yeah, it really was. And again, as we've said for years, there's no accountability for these officials that we know about. I mean, it would be from the SEC office. I get that, but I still think that they ought to have to answer questions for about 5 or 10 minutes during that time. But the reality of this thing is how much fun it's been this year. I mean, you've got Army, Navy still undefeated. You got Vanderbilt at 25. I mean, you've got Illinois and Pitt at 19 and 20. Boise State's 17.
What about Indiana?
Indiana is 13 with Kirk Cignetti. And Iowa State's also undefeated. I mean, Terry, Indiana's just running over people right now. And I'm just telling you, Terry, tell me. Now USC's on Friday night.
Oh,
tell me about USC getting a little tap on the head, from Maryland of all people, Terry Norvelle.
How about USC, Oklahoma, and Texas all saying, "Wow, this is our new conference. We're in here for forever." These new conferences, and yeah, what a comeback for Mike Locksley in Maryland. USC, I mean, it ain't over. They still got Notre Dame. They may lose 5 or 6 games. USC.
Oh yeah, listen, they on Friday night they've got Rutgers at home. But boy, as you've said over and over again, is the shine off of that USC Rose right now?
Yeah, you really think about that, Brent. Let's go way back to Friday night. I know we had some college games on Thursday, but really the weekend started for all of us around here on Friday night when the FSU went to Durham, and what a just absolute disaster that was. I mean, a lack of effort, a lack of execution. I was first and foremost, I was taken aback, Brent, by how bad Duke was on offense.
Yeah.
And they still won the foot. Now, they got after pretty good on defense, but Duke is terrible on offense. And FSU, I mean, I think if I'm FSU, I ride Kromenhoek. I ride the freshman.
Yes.
He was one of the few bright spots. I thought he threw a really nice football, but, I mean, it may be start peeking ahead to next year for FSU, isn't it?
Look, they don't have any choice. Not only do they need to do that with the quarterback, but they need to do that, frankly, with that entire depth chart. Now, for our viewers, Terry and I were texting about this during the game, and listen, I'm trying not to be disparaging here, but I've seen high school teams fundamentally better than Florida State. I mean, Terry, they have reached the point of no excuse return for that program, and frankly, how bad that program is right now. And look, not only has he got to shake up that roster, isn't it time to shake up that coaching staff?
It really is. It really is. I don't want to throw any names around, but there's a few people that probably need to. Hey man, you have given your blood, sweat, and tears to FSU football, but it might be time. Odell Higgins, and I don't want to give any names out, but some guys like that. It's time. It really is. What a disaster. Florida really. The Gators have carved out 4 wins. They haven't beaten anybody.
Yeah.
But there seems to be a little bit of a fresh airness about Florida. As ugly as it got Miami and Texas A&M, there's a little fresh air now. They've got the truth coming up at them now.
Yep,
they've got Georgia and Texas and LSU and Ole Miss before Florida State. But isn't it amazing, though? I don't think Napier's the guy to take Florida where they want to go. I would still make a move, even if he pulled an upset or two. Yeah. I just don't think he's the long-term answer. But it's amazing, Brent, that in the last 2 or 3 weeks, there is a little fresh air around the Florida football program compared to Texas A&M postgame, Miami postgame.
Now, what we said at the beginning of the year, if Gator fans could say, when you reach the month of November, my team looks better.
Yeah.
Well, they do, don't they?
They really do.
And listen, this defense is simplified. It's much better. You've got a freshman running back running for 5 touchdowns. Lagway has been, frankly, very good, very solid in this point. Now, look, they're not going to beat Georgia, but Terry, could they be competitive? We got a lot of time for this, but could they be competitive in Jacksonville?
I think they are. I think they can be. A lot of it has to do with, can they convert on 3rd down? They're not going to win a shootout probably with anybody, but I think sometimes in all of sports, your team may not be anywhere near as good as the opponent, but if you've got a trump card, if you've got a special player, if you've got a Pete Maravich, well, LSU hangs around in basketball years ago. If you've got a Paul Skeens, well, in a 3-game series, you may win one and could steal a second one, DJ Lagway may be that guy. I mean,
he may be.
The really good ones bring the physical, but then they bring the mental to their own team. And it's starting to look like Florida thinks something good's happening when Lagway takes the snap.
And listen, he's getting help. Do you like this Badger kid, Terry? Elijah Badger?
Nice
He's averaging 23 yards a catch at this point.
Yeah, nice player. Portal from Arizona State, I think.
Yes.
They've had some real luck. I mean, Ricky Pearsall was Arizona State. Brent, I look forward like you do. We've got a full month of college football playoff. We go from December 20th to crowning a champion on January 20th. Brent, obviously the playoff's going to be off the chain because, hell, just trying to decide who's going to play in the SEC championship game is great, much less the playoff.
Oh, yeah. Listen, is there any way in the world that you would have thought that right now the only two teams in the conference without an SEC loss are playing each other Saturday night? In LSU and A&M?
How about that?
And by the way, do you think ABC's a little? I think that's who's got it. Is excited about that. But I mean, 4-0, 3-0. I mean that's amazing. And one of those teams will have a loss. This is the first time in decades that before the month of November that everyone has a loss in the SEC.
And it's not a bad thing, I don't think.
No.
There's a lot of good teams in there right now.
No.
Brent, I said a minute ago during the first hour, one negative I'm starting to see this year in college football, and it has to do with the expanded conferences. Well, the conferences have now gotten so big, you've got 16 teams, and in some cases, 18 teams. One negative is it's hard to play everybody. So you've got a lot of unbalanced.
You do.
You've got a lot of unbalanced conference schedules where, man, this team plays hard team. This team misses everybody because there's so many teams.
Well, yeah. Well, look, have you already noticed, like I have, the complaints about the travel?
Yeah.
I mean, they knew that. They knew that was coming down the pike.
Yeah.
And look, the only way this could be equitable would be if these conferences jump in here and help out.
Absolutely. Brent, last thought, I want to make sure we don't shun Miami, the Hurricanes.
Yes.
Are they a really good team that finds a way to win? Are they an average team that has a special player that wills his team to win? I mean, Cam Ward right now, I'd hand him the Heisman Trophy. I mean, you saw that game Saturday, and they've had 2 or 3. I don't know quite. I still don't think they're one of the 4 or 5 best teams in the conference, and that's no slight at Miami because I think Cam Ward's the best player in the country.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And now they do have some pretty good players. Jalen Rivers is back on the offensive line from Oakland High School. This Xavier Restapro has had a good year.
Nice player.
The Martinez to transfer, and then Reuben Bain on the defensive line when he's healthy is good.
Right.
Now look, you and I laughed about this, but it won't be any laughing matter on Saturday. Terry, if Miami can do it, will they hang 70 on FSU?
In a heartbeat. You know why they may not hang 70 on FSU if they've got a chance? They may hang 80 on them.
Oh, no.
They may hang 80 on them. They can't. Yeah, it could get ugly. Miami's having a special year. And you know what? Credit Cristobal. They got talent, man. They got talent down there. And they have one of the easier schedules in the history of schedules, man.
They do. But they don't. Oh, yeah. But listen, I'll say this. Were you impressed with Louisville a little bit like I was?
Yeah, coach.
I mean, Louisville, he can he? Listen, Louisville kept up with them for a while.
They really did. Hey, Brent, good stuff. Let's take a break here. Thanks for everything you do. We'll get you on as the week goes on. Big week 9 coming up in college football. Let's take a break. Come back. We're loaded up, ready to talk some Jacksonville Icemen. We teased it a little bit. Big opener, 12,000 plus at the home opener. We'll talk about that game, kind of what sets up all year long, 72 games, including 36 at home. We'll talk about what's going on with the Jacksonville Icemen on the other side. It's the Young and Norvelle Show coming to you live from the Igloo right here on Emerson, and we are inside Icebreakers Bar and Grill.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, back we are here having a fun Monday. A little hazy as we got that overhead shot. Terry Norvelle here. We are inside Icebreakers Bar and Grill, which is inside the Community First Igloo. When you're driving down I-95, everybody, when you're coming up on either direction, the Emerson exit, you peek over and you see that beautiful building, the Igloo. Well, it's been absolutely renovated. I'm proud to welcome our guest, Alex Reed. He's Director of Communications and broadcasting for the Jacksonville Icemen. I don't know how far you go back with this building. I'm born and raised in here. I'm a native of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And this building's been here a while. It's had several machinations and a couple of good ideas and maybe not so good ideas. But boy, it kind of there's nothing worse than an empty, dilapidated building.
Sure. Yeah.
And it got that way, but the powers that be here have thrown a few dollars. This facility is immaculate.
No, it really is, and it's changing the game not only for the Icemen from a recruiting standpoint, but obviously you can hear all the kids in the background
It's
here.
picture day, by the way.
Yeah,
I've seen more mothers putting people's kids' hair
Combing
down.
hair, I know that's so important for hockey players, their hair, even at that age. But no, it's one of those things where it's again growing the game of hockey here, and Paul Esdale, who runs our youth hockey program here, I think he factored that it would take probably 4 or 5 years before he thought we'd be at a point where we were like at capacity, and it only took a year and a half.
Wow.
And we're kind of at a point where we almost need a third sheet of ice
And that's
here. But
the youth.
yes, that's the youth
leagues.
program. But yes, exactly.
And
the youth
leagues
travel.
mean multiple teams.
Yes.
Multiple teams mean you got a lot of guys,
Yes.
young people that like
Oh, yeah.
hockey and families that like hockey.
And that's it. And that's really the main purpose for this facility, just to grow the game of the hockey here in the area. Because in the state of Florida, hockey's big.
Really
and
is.
it really is. I mean, you look at all the other places, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Orlando, Fort Myers, they all have hockey facilities. And for years, people would just drive right by Jacksonville to get to those
Absolutely.
other places. Now, this is a place where tournaments are being hosted. A lot of, we've got a couple preseason games here. So it's a great facility. There's a great bar here as well. You talked about the way it used to be, and how it was in desperate need of a renovation. I'll tell you a quick little story here. The first year of the team, our head coach was Jason Christie, and he had a player that was sent to us by our affiliate in Manitoba. He'd never been in the ECHL before. He was a career AHL guy, older veteran, but it's the first time he's ever been sent down. And he walked in for practice back there, and you could just see him look around, just kind of looking around. You could just see, like, what am I getting myself into? And then the next morning, he comes into the coach's office and says, "Yeah, coach, I'm just going to retire." So that's what happened. Yeah, but I don't think anyone would come in here now and say that, because this place is really
And this
something.
back rink,
Yeah.
I was told, can seat about 1,000 people.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, we have a good capacity here. I think there's 750. It can seat 750, but then with standing room only, you can get to 1,000 here. And we actually hosted our preseason games here.
Yeah, two of them here, right?
Yeah, two of them. Yeah, against the Savannah Ghost Pirates. But again, all of our regular season games are played at downtown.
And there's open skate. I mean, I watched, and there's all levels of skating.
Yeah.
You come in, pay your money, sign a quick waiver,
Yeah.
and whatever level. I mean, you go open skate.
Yeah, they have learn to skate programs. So if you're not sure about it, they got great teachers here. And then if your kid wants to get into hockey and he doesn't, he's never skated, he could start.
Or
He or
she.
I would say he or she. I was going to correct myself. I mean, my wife coaches the all girls team here, so she would kill me if I didn't say that. But he or she could come here and then learn how to skate, and then they can go through the learn to play hockey program, and then get into the rec program, and then obviously they can work their way up to the travel program, which is the junior Iceman program, and for the girls, the Jacksonville Lunas.
I love the way when I watch open skate or practice, we got youth leagues and just practice. I love the way the parents can come in, get their young people squared away, send them on open skate or practice. And the parents, this wonderful sports bar we're in, Icebreakers, and everything's got windows. You can sit and you can. So many people have the laptop out. They're watching their kid, but they're doing some laptop. They're having a bite to eat. They're having a wine after work or so, just one, and it's really family oriented here, the way this is structured with all the windows and.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, here we are in the bar. You can see in the background behind us, and then the other side, you can view what's going on out there. And you're right, for a family that's you've got their kid in hockey here, it's great because you drop them off, they're practicing. You're able to get on and you do some work, have dinner when they get off the ice. Dinner could be ready and waiting for them, but and you're able to get some work done. And still watch the practice and be involved. So it
Great
is,
setup.
and our families have been great.
And this facility, I was getting to know Jim and was at the Hall of Fame the other week. This facility here seats about 150. Told me it can be segregated if you want to have a team banquet, if you want to have a corporate event. Just a lot of options here. All right, let's talk Jacksonville Icemen.
Okay. Yeah.
8th season, I believe it is.
Yes.
That's, first of all, doing a little research, and I'm a native. I've gone to a million games and worked games, and 8 seasons means you've made it. You've ingratiated yourself in the community. The Icemen are part of our sports community now. They're an accepted entertainment. 8 years, it's not just a fly-by-night. Is it going to make it? Opening night was this past Saturday. This is your headquarters in terms of office, practice, facility, but you play your games in the arena. Obviously, we know that. 12,000 plus Saturday to open up.
Yeah,
that's the season.
Opening night record for us. It is incredible. I mean, we had to open up the Upper Bowl there, and our crowds keep getting bigger and bigger. We're taking steps. If you look at the last few years, really ever since the COVID hit, ever since then though, our numbers have increased. And last year last 2 years we have been the number 1 in the league in attendance.
I was going to ask that. Where does that rank with the other guys?
Yeah. So out of 28 teams last year, we were number 1, and our last 2 years we've been number 1. And last year coming up to new heights, almost 1,000 more per average going from the year prior to last season. So we're averaging over 9,000 a game, and our goal we want to get to 10,000 per game, and we're off to a good start with 12,000. So it is, and it's great, and the fans they love it.
Let me interject here. Southern guy, okay?
Yeah.
Hockey is not my thing. I just wasn't. I didn't live up north and move down. Blah blah blah. I've been to 25 Iceman game. I do a lot of work with the arena. I like to help when the shows come through and sporting events, Sharks and Icemen and concerts. I work on the logistics side when I've got time, and Ricky Howard and those guys. That is and I'm a neophyte. I don't know hockey very well. I'm learning. That is a knowledgeable Iceman home crowd, particularly when I'm assigned. You know where the Zamboni comes in at?
Mm-hmm.
The other end is where the chanting, and they get on that goalie.
Yeah, they do.
and these are controlled chants, and they're funny. But the first thing that got me a couple of years ago when I started working some of those games is this is a hockey intelligent crowd.
Yeah.
They know their hockey.
They really do.
Here in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, that group back there, and there's an organization to it. I don't know what they call them. But they get on that goalie.
Oh, they do,
and they've got their chants. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, the all your fault chant. It's all your fault. I mean, if you're a goalie, you just let a goal in. That's not what you want to hear. But they sing song their name and then tell them it's all.
Oh, they find it.
Oh,
and the Alex visiting with Alex Reed here with the Iceman. The most beautiful thing, and it happens every game. If I'm on that end, working whatever I've got to do. And I go, don't do it. And it may be early, and I'll just say to myself, don't. And I'm looking at the visiting goalie, don't do it. And at some point, that goalie's going to have enough, and he's going to acknowledge, and it's over.
And it's over.
The minute he acknowledges that he's hearing him, it is over.
Yep. There have been goalies who have acknowledged. There's one goal he allowed a lot of goals, and finally he was just pumping his hands in the air like, yeah, okay, I hear you. Like, I'm having a bad night. So, they listen, they hear it. And a lot of goalies we've talked to them, they said they even admit
is
after
it like
the fact.
that in the rest of the league? Or is this a special home
there
crowd?
a lot of teams have their own chants, but this one's very, this one.
Is there talk in the league that, oh boy, those Jacksonville fans on a Saturday night?
Oh, yeah. Oh, on a Saturday. I know. The goalies know. They know they're walking into. They all talk. They all hear. So, but then again, that's how, our fans are great. They are very knowledgeable of the game and, in the rules and all that. They've really taken to it. They and it's it's part of our success here the last few years. And I mean, even
it's a great home crowd.
It is a great home crowd. And, even just 2 years ago, we had a player that played for the Atlanta Gladiators who played in his 1,000th game of his career, which is a lot, especially at the minor league level. His name's Derek Nesbitt. He's now their head coach, but we recognized him middle of the game and at a home game. Hey, this guy's a future Hall of Famer in our league. And the crowd, standing ovation. Because our fans knew enough that,
and appreciate
hey, this is a big deal, and we're going to give him this moment. So just little things like that, our fans are just really great at that.
Help me out, Jackson Iceman, in the ECHL. The parent club is Buffalo Sabres.
Correct.
Okay. But there's also an affiliation, AHL, Rochester, Americans. I don't understand how that works. And where would you say the Icemen are at? using minor league baseball,
Mhm.
rookie league, A ball, double A ball,
Sure.
triple A ball, but I don't quite understand, and some of us don't, ECHL, AHL, Buffalo Sabres, the big boys.
Right.
You're a farm club of them.
Correct.
But then Rochester Americans.
Yeah, so you said it perfectly, kind of thinking in terms of baseball. So obviously the NHL Buffalo Sabres would be the major league, right? And then below that is the AAA Rochester Americans, and then
Okay.
we would be like the premier AA league.
So we have players that go up and down
They
from
do.
Rochester to Jackson, vice
Correct.
versa.
Absolutely. Yep. So that's kind of how that works. It's just it's like a feeder system, just like in terms of baseball as well. But I'll tell you, we are a AA. It's considered AA hockey. The players that are in this league, pretty much, I would say, 80, 90% of them, they can go up to the next level and play no problem. I mean, these are AHL caliber players.
Well,
and then obviously
when the Jumbo
day.
Shrimp were, they're AAA now. When the Jumbo Shrimp were AA,
Yeah.
and the Suns, and again, I'm an old guy. Many major league affiliations have come through here.
Mhm.
AA, if you've made AA, you can play in the bigs. You're waiting on Cal Ripken to
Right.
finally retire if you're
Yeah.
a shortstop, or Eddie Murray, or whatever. Interesting. Would and we're visiting with Alex Reed here. He's a director of communications and broadcasting for the Jacksonville Icemen. Season started Saturday. Don't worry, 72 total games. We're down one. 35 now home games left. 36 will go on the road, and most of them Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You've got some on Wednesday, a few on Wednesday, a few on Tuesday, and a Thursday morning. The hockey in our area and the state of Florida has exploded. Obviously, the Everblades are downstate. We don't like them. Boo. We don't like them at all.
No.
Would Jacksonville Icemen hockey be as big if the two hockey? We have two NHL teams in our state, and they're good, and they win it all.
Yeah.
Does that feed down? Does that help? It
Yeah.
doesn't hurt, obviously.
Yeah, I think, people, when we travel and we go north or go west, and people go, hockey in Florida, huh? Is it really that big? And it's like, it's big. And people are knowing about it because, all these teams are winning championships. I mean, look at I think the last 4 years, I saw some stat in the NHL, the last four Eastern Conference representatives for the Stanley Cup final came from the state of Florida. You had Tampa and Florida. The Panthers, they lost 2 years ago, but they won this past year. They've each won Stanley Cups. And then, obviously here, I hate to say it, but the Florida Everblades right now, they've won 3 straight championships in our
Now,
league.
where are they based out of? They're down, obviously, Everblades, but
Yep.
where are they? What city? I was asking a guy here.
They were in Estero, Florida,
Estero,
so kind of
and
right nestled in between Fort Myers and Naples.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big population.
Yep.
Big transplant population. Hockey's huge down there.
Sure. Yeah. And even even at the youth hockey level, these kids on the travel teams, they go play in tournaments in Minnesota, Boston, all these hockey hotbeds, right?
Yeah.
And they come back with banners, and they I think a lot of people take them a little bit lightly, but the hockey, it's really exploded in the state of Florida, and a lot of that is that the transplants there, but also for those that are just here, they go to a game and they just get hooked on it because it's a great sport live. I mean, it really is. It's just a whole other experience.
I don't like walking on the ice.
Yeah, I know.
Trust me. I have to sometimes go out with the goal. You have to get it up, and and you got to rock it and all. I don't like walking on the ice. I'm a Southern boy.
Yeah, I know. A lot of ice.
People that have or have never, how can you experience an Iceman game? Obviously, you can just go down and buy a ticket.
Sure.
Hey, honey, let's go. Hey, let's round up the kids. You can buy season tickets. When I'm down there working or just watching games, it's very party friendly, and I mean birthday party friendly, corporate party friendly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of options on how to experience a night with the Iceman.
Yeah, there really is. There is. You can purchase tickets online. You can go to the box office. If you get a group of 10 or more, you get discounts on tickets, and you get all the Ticketmaster fees waived. So, there's a lot of ways to come enjoy it. There's suites. There's ice boxes, which are right on the glass that you can, reserve for your a birthday party or for your company. Those experiences are all available. You can ride on the Fan Zam during the intermission. There's a post-game photo option. And then also, too, if you go to our website, we got JacksonvilleIceman.com or JacksIceman.com, either one. You go to our promotional schedule. We cater to a lot of different interests, Star Wars and Marvel. There's pucks and paws where you can bring your dog to the game, which is a really nice touch there. And then, of course, the big popular one, the Lizard Kings Weekend, which we have in January.
I remember them.
Which is a throwback to the Lizard Kings. We wear the jerseys and all that stuff. So, there's a lot of different interests and for everybody. And That's what we just try to cater to, to all audiences and interests. But again, it's a Iceman hockey game is a great way. Bring your company out, a group of friends, and from a season ticket standpoint, if you're a business, you can give them to your employees as rewards, your best clients. I mean, there's a lot to do, and everyone's going to have a good time.
I've noticed the last few years working down there and then looking at the schedule, and I guess it's travel induced. There will be 2 or 3 games in a row.
Yeah,
same teams.
Yeah,
like you guys are going out to Tahoe, you'll play a couple.
Yeah,
Tahoe, which makes financial sense.
Sure.
And then I noticed, obviously, for people that want to get out to the Iceman, the next home game will be a little bit down the road because you're traveling coming up Thursday, Friday, I think it is, in Tahoe. And then, of course, Florida, Georgia is here.
Right.
So obviously that whole area is just a madhouse. So you guys purposely are in Orlando.
Right, yeah.
So then we'll be back pretty soon, but a good week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
As our next big opportunity to see the Iceman.
Yeah, we got, I believe we're going to start a 6-game homestand right after that trip to Orlando. And I think we have 7 home games for the month of November. So a lot of chances to catch the team in November. And then we're a little bit more on the road in December, but then, it slows back up January and February. Yeah. So, again, 36 games. We go all the way to about mid-April. And then, of course, what we hope will be playoffs and a very deep playoff run after that, we hope. It's a lot. And they do, but, they try to kind of cluster the games. And obviously, we don't want to go head-to-head with the Florida-Georgia game, and all that. And I know in the years past with the Jaguars, sometimes have had to, they ended up getting a playoff game where they had to play at night, and we had to play at the same time.
I remember that.
We moved our time,
moved it to 1 or so, yeah.
So we had a nice little doubleheader. We decided to play at 1 o'clock and let them play at night, and so people could come see hockey and go see the football game that night. So it worked out well, and obviously, football is really really big right now. This is we're in mid-season both for college and the NFL, and but our fans, they focus on that, they focus on us. And then obviously come playoff time, Jacksonville becomes a hockey town in the spring. There's no doubt our crowds get into it.
Alex Reed, I'll let you go, but I want to hit you with one more thing, and then we'll have you on a million times, and you'll get us guests and all.
That's
and
great.
Walk us through a little bit, because when Patrick's here, we're not the biggest hockey. We didn't skate very much, okay?
Got it.
Now,
we got the programs here.
I know. I was asking around. Obviously, opening night was this past Saturday, 12,000. You played the Everblades, I think. Right? The Nemesis overtime loss, heartbreaker in OT. My operatives, I wasn't at the game. My operatives may tell me that the winning goal was scored by Florida, the Everblades, and boo, it was a hell of a game, but Iceman lost it. Might have been a little bit of a brawl going on at the end. They might have fought their way to the locker room. Talk to me about that real quick.
Yeah, it does happen. This is a big-time rivalry, so those teams do not like each other. I mean, they've met in the playoffs the last 3 or 4 years, so there's a lot of animosity there. And I know when they won, a couple of their guys said something to our guys. Our guys didn't put up with it, and it just kind of boiled over from there. Really could have gotten really out of hand. But
I heard it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. There's no doubt, and that happens from time to time. The game's changed so much, but you can't ignore rivalries. And that's a very, very big rivalry. Those teams just absolutely despise
one another. You played as
a
youngster and still play a little bit, but when you're competitive juices flowing, you're an old man now, okay?
Yeah.
Now, were you an ice brawler? Were you a brawler or no?
I was a little bit.
Were you protected like Gretzky, right? They couldn't.
No, that was
nobody
not me.
could sneeze at Gretzky.
That was definitely not me. I did get in my share of trouble when I played. I know. I got involved in a few little scrums, and you can't really do that at the rec level. So, but I did have I've been tossed from a game.
Now, were you a defenseman or were you a goal scorer guy?
I kind of played both actually, just depending where my team needed me. I think as a youngster, I was more of a forward because I had more energy, and now as a defenseman, not saying you don't need energy to play defense, but I kind of hang back a little bit more now that I've gotten a little bit older.
Who is your idol? Who were you? A Gretzky guy? Were you a Lemieux guy? Were you a Crosby guy? I don't know many more.
Honestly, I really like, and I'm not even a Pittsburgh fan, but early in my adolescence, let's say, I really liked Mary Lemieux. I was more of a Lemieux guy. And then, when you look at the kind of the new age guys, and gosh, he's even old now. But again, you mentioned Crosby. I think he's just honestly one of the best players here. Unfortunately, he just had some injuries problems over his career.
I'm sorry. I know we need to get going. You need to go and
no,
go home.
You're good.
And we got to get out of here. I don't know hockey very well. Gretzky and Lemieux, totally different players.
Yeah, I mean, they're both
size-wise and everything.
Size-wise, yeah, definitely Lemieux's bigger guy. Maybe a little more physical at times, but he was. Both prolific scorers. Don't get me wrong.
How did they overlap much?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, they actually did.
He was at the end of his career when Buick was coming in.
Yeah, I would say one started a little bit more earlier than the other, but there was some overlap there between the two. And obviously,
but
Gretzky's got all the records.
That's Brady, Peyton Manning. That's that's
that's good. I mean, very good way to put it. I'd say, yep. Because there were so many years Brady played when Manning didn't, so it's it's a good comparison there. But they were the top two. They're considered icons of the somewhat modern game, I guess. And now there's a new class of guys out there. The Connor McDavids and Austin Matthews. Those guys are McKinnon out in Colorado. I mean, there's some really good players right now.
But do you believe in miracles?
I do. Of course, you have to.
Where are you at during the ice hockey game, Iceman game? Are you everywhere? Or are you just
yeah.
You're everywhere
with my new room, kind of bouncing around. But you can kind of find me center ice there, where they have like the press table.
I still don't understand. I'm watching the game, and all of a sudden, like 4 guys decide I'm going to go sit on the bench, and 4 guys decide I'm jumping the wall and going to go play. I can't really tell what and when, but they do it.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's what they call a line change,
they
just do it on the fly. And
they ever get caught for like too many men on the ice? Like
it does.
The Gators can't get 11 players on the field. They get 12, 13, 15.
Yeah.
They get caught with that?
Yeah, it does happen. It does happen. Not a lot. It's not a penalty you see all the time, but probably once every couple of weeks.
What's the penalty?
It's a 2-minute penalty. It's a bench minor penalty for too many men on the ice.
Who do you throw in the ice if there's?
I think you can. They've changed it a couple of times, but I think you can just designate somebody off the bench to go.
I want to sit in the penalty box and interview people during the game. That'd be great.
Yeah, maybe we can look that up.
I get them, stir them up. And, they're sitting kind of next to each other, right? If there's more than one,
there is a separation. Yeah, I mean, so you have one penalty box, and it fills up. That's the one team. Then there's the scorer's table, and then there's the other team. There has to be some separation.
I'm going to stir it up, man.
So hey, we'll check into that. We'll see what we can do.
That's Alex Reed. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate your time. We'll do it a million more times. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, no problem.
That's our buddy Alex Reed from the Ice Mill. We'll take a break, come back, wrap things up. We're going to have a good time hanging out at this place. We're inside the Igloo, the Community First Igloo. You see it off 95. And they have a spectacular sports bar. Icebreakers Bar and Grill. Back to wrap things up after this timeout. Sorry, man.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Holy cow. We are back. Beautiful sun poking through here, trying to burn off those clouds, even though it's late in the day. Temperature feels great. We just need to clear up that sky, and it'll be just about a perfect fall day. Terry Norvelle coming back here inside Icebreakers Bar and Grill. We're inside the Community First Igloo, the home of the Jacksonville Icemen. You heard their season got started Saturday. Heartbreaking overtime loss, 12,000-plus fans in the arena. Big start. And you see behind me, we were just talking with Alex Reed about all the stuff that goes on at this facility, in addition to the Icemen using it as their home facility, their training facility, and their offices for their operation. You see the kids out here, man. You got multiple teams out there practicing. They've got multiple youth leagues, all kinds of stuff going on, including open skate. You can just come out here. Guess I'd make if I ever had a date again, that'd make for a fun little Friday, Saturday night date. If you could bring your date ice skating, or just maybe you're from up north and you've skated all your life and you need some ice time, well, they can take good care of you here at the Igloo. All right, let's kind of set up the rest of the week. We got a lot coming up. Hey, by the way, the World Series is set. We didn't even get around to that. We've had a ton of Jaguar talk, Seminole talk, Gator talk, SEC football talk, Georgia Bulldog. What a win for the Dogs. Just a lot of stuff going on. We don't want to forget about Major League Baseball. But it's ironic, or not ironic, it happens most years, and it happened again this year. You know what? Major League Baseball played 162 regular season games. They had multiple rounds of baseball playoffs. And guess what? After all those games, pushing 200 games, probably all in all, the best 2 teams are still standing. The Yankees and the Dodgers. World Series will start Friday. I don't think they've moved that. It's always been scheduled to start on Friday. And the Dodgers got out in 6 games. The Yankees got out a day or 2 before. So the Yankees will have a little more rest. But the World Series will start on Friday if it stays on schedule. We hope to have, I'm going to try and get our buddy, our baseball guy, Kay Kistner, the baseball publisher for Sports Illustrated. He is our baseball guy. I'm going to try and see if we can get him on this coming Thursday to kind of take a peek at the Yankees and the Dodgers. Should be another just classic. The 2 best teams going, should be a classic series. I don't think it's going to be a 4-game sweep or anything like that. I was reading earlier today, I think this is the 12th time. They've met 12 times in the World Series, have the Dodgers and the Yankees, but not since like 81. And they haven't met a bunch as L.A., New York. They've met a bunch as Brooklyn and New York. So the TV guys, though, this is about the best they could get. This really is. There were other good teams. There were other good franchises this year.
Cleveland made a hell of a run. Detroit was a pain, and San Diego gave the Dodgers fits at times, and even the Mets. But if you're the TV boys, you couldn't ask for much more. You've got that East Coast, West Coast thing. You've got the two basically biggest markets we've got going in New York and LA. It's just a lot of dynamics off the baseball field, in addition to what about the star power? Oh, my goodness gracious. And that's one thing that helped baseball this year. The recognizable star players played like recognizable star players. Ohtani, what a year. My God, he never slowed down. Aaron Judge, same way. I mean, from day one, Soto comes over to the Yankees. He is a real good Batman Robin kind of thing with Aaron Judge. You look at Mookie Betts, hurt a little bit, but he showed out. Yamamoto comes over on the mound, was hurt some for the Dodgers. You could just go on and on and on. Star power up and down the lineups. It should be a lot of fun. Right in the middle of football season, don't forget about the World Series. We certainly will not around here. That'll wrap it up. I want to thank again our folks and our friends here at Icebreakers Bar and Grill. Tomorrow we take it to Mandarin. Come on by and say hi if you're in and around that Jointon Creek area. We're at the Hurricanes in Mandarin tomorrow, 4 to 6. Hope to see you there. That'll wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed it. We liked bringing it to you. See you tomorrow, 4 to 6 for the Young and Norvelle Show.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC.